Welcome back. Thanks for being here. So today I want to talk to you about facts versus feelings. This is a topic that comes up all the time in the community, and at mentoring.men we talk about these things on the regular. And facts versus feelings is a topic that comes up. And what does that mean, facts versus feelings? Well, when your wife is telling you a story about the supermarket, a story about her interaction with friends, about somebody who called her or didn't call her, or said or didn't say the thing that they were supposed to say or not supposed to say, or whatever it is, right? As a man, and particularly as a lawyer or a doctor or a engineer or a software developer or a sales manager or any technical job that men in the community have, we actually spend a lot of our day listening to facts, right? We do what is called gap analysis. We try to figure out what people have, what they don't have, and what they need, right? We try to figure out the requirements for the software, the requirements for the design, what the judge needs to hear, what procedure needs to be performed in order to serve the patient, right, and add to their health. We have to listen to a lot of facts, and a lot of times we're not really so much focused on the feelings of things, right? We don't bring a client in for a software project and say, so tell me how you feel about data. Tell me how you feel about, the ones and zeros in your software program. We talk about A and B, right? We talk about 1 and 0, on and off. We talk about bits and bytes, right? We talk about legal jargon and medical jargon and load-bearing walls and whatever it is, right? And so when we get in a conversation with our wife and she starts telling us about her feelings, we're listening for facts, right? We've got it tuned into the wrong station and the wrong frequency. And what we don't realize is that she doesn't want us to analyze what she's saying. She just wants us to hear how it made her feel. And she wants us to be able to relate. She wants us to be able to go, wow, that sounds like it was really frustrating. Wow, you sound really frustrated, right? It sounds like that really frustrated you. And what we're doing is we're saying to her, essentially, you're not insane, right? You're not a weirdo. You're not insane. You're a perfectly normal person. Now, sometimes guys will say, well, but what she's saying doesn't make any sense, right? I know that person, and that person would never say that. We're in the analyzing zone, right? What we've done is she's emotionally throwing up, right? And we've caught all of it, and we're trying to organize it, right? We're putting big chunks of throw up over here and little chunks of throw up over there, and we're trying to figure out why there's whole pieces of corn, right? And we're like, oh, this is gross. But we're not supposed to hold on to any of that stuff, right? We're not supposed to organize it, analyze it, any of that stuff. Our job is in that moment, right, is actually less. There's less for us to do. What we're actually doing in that moment is stepping back from all of the facts. And we're saying, we're just observing, she's upset. This moment, this situation, this event, this interaction, it upset her, right? And she wants me to just to be her safe person that she can vent to without us telling her that she's wrong or that she's crazy or that she did it wrong or she should see it differently or she could have done it better, right? She just wants to be able to share something without judgment. And so this is the part where we fall down, right? So if she were, next time she's throwing up, right? She's emotionally throwing up. Well, all we want to do is just hold the trash can. We don't even care what goes in the trash can. We don't care about the size of the chunks. We don't care about the details or about the facts or about whether it makes sense. All we're doing is observing the fact that she's upset about it. Now, if we don't like what she's telling us, we don't have to be subject to it, right? If she's just always toxic and just tearing people down and being negative and things like that, you know, we can actually set boundaries for ourselves, right? We could actually say what we want, what we don't want. We can actually tell her, you know what, I want to be your safe person. I want you to be able to share things with me, but what you're doing right now is making me tense, right? It's making me like I don't feel good, and I really don't want to listen to that, right? Like, we can set boundaries for ourselves, or we can say, I've got about 10 minutes, go, right? We can tell her how long we're willing to listen. And when we do that, and we're unapologetic about it, and we're clear, then what happens is she begins to understand what those boundaries are, right? She begins to understand that that it's not okay to just dump everything on us, that we can be her safe person. She can share things with us. We can relate to her, but that's not an open-ended, like, I'm not going to listen to 2 hours of somebody bitching about something that happened, you know, in their day. It's just not, I'm not interested in that, right? And if that's a problem, right, then that's a whole other conversation that can be had. But we can set boundaries for ourselves, and we can offer that person a safe place. Now, in my own marriage, what I didn't realize was that anytime my wife got upset about things and she would share those with me, then I would see those as problems. I would see those as threats to my security, that something was wrong, that somebody was upset, and that made me uncomfortable. And so I would go into fix-it mode. I would try to tell her how she could have done it better or differently, you know, like what she should have done, or did she consider this, or whatever it was, right? And unfortunately, what that did was it indirectly, silently communicated to her that she was not safe to share things with me, because that would upset me, right? That I couldn't handle it. And so she slowly but surely stopped sharing things with me. She actually pulled away and shut down, and I experienced that as a withdrawal, right? As like a pulling away from me personally, right? And the relationship. And it felt very much like a disconnection. But I didn't realize that I had co-created that, right? That I had participated in the very thing that I was blaming her for, right? I was blaming her for withdrawing and pulling away, but I didn't realize that I had participated in that. And so this is what happens, right? When we don't, when we're listening for facts, not feelings. So here's what I want you to do. If you're still here, I want you to go down into the description. I want you to click on the link that's down there. It's a link to my form on my website where you can set up a coaching call, where we can talk about facts versus feelings, where we can talk about those moments in your marriage where you think you're doing a good thing, but then she gets upset. You say something and then she comes unglued, and you're not sure exactly why it is, but you know that things could be better, that the relationship could be better. I want you to click on that link, set up a call. Let's talk about those things. Let's unravel the hairball. Let's get you back to a place where your wife will actually open up to you and share things with you and tell you about her day and relate to you and want to be related to by you. And it'll be a much better, much healthier, much happier version of relationship. All right, that's what I have for you today. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.